Good morning, everyone. Let's start today's topic, software testing. I am Dr. Vijay Bhandari, Associate Professor in SIIT CSE Department. So let's start with the software testing. The software testings is that we can define that to inspect or investigating the errors, defects in code. So we are going to understand the various types of software testings, which can be used at the time of the software development lifecycle model. So as we know, software testing is a process of analyzing an application's functionalities as per the customer prerequisite. If we want to ensure that our software is bug-free or stable, we must perform the various types of software testings because testing is the only method that makes our applications bug-free. So there are different kind of the software testings. For example, like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, functional testing, acceptance testing, smoke testing, regression testing, performance testing, security testing, and user acceptance testing. So I will explain one by one in next slide. These are the types of software testing. In left hand, you can see manual testings, and the right hand, you can see the automation testings. So these are also the kind of testing, like manual testing is goes to white box testing, black box testing, and gray box testing. So these are the testings which describes the white box, black box, and gray box. Black box is kind of two types, functional and non-functional testing. Functional is also three kind of testing: unit testings, integration testing, and system testing. Whereas non-functional testing is like performance testing, user testing, and compatibility testing. These are the types of functional testings, right? Then we can see integration testing is a type of incremental testings, non-incremental testings, and incremental testing, as well as we can see here top down and bottom up. Whereas performance testing may be a load testing, stress testing, scalability testing, and stability testing, right? So these are the testings that different kind of testing is you can see here. If you have any doubts, so please post your query in chat box. Now, I will explain you one by one here. So the different types of software testing we have seen in this diagram. So the categorization of software testing is a part of the testing activities, right? So such as test strategies, test with deliverables, defined test objectives, so on. And software testing is the execution of the software to find defects, as I already told you in last slide. So testing is a process of executing a program to find the errors, we can say. To make our software perform well, it should be error-free. So if testing is done successfully, it will remove all the errors from the existing software or pre-built software. So here we will see some principles of the testing. Principles of the testing means all the tests should meet the customer requirements. Secondly, to make our software, testing should be performed by third party, right? The third point is exhaustive testing is not possible, as we need the optimal amount of testing based on the risk assessment of the application. Fourth one is all the tests to be conducted should be planned before implementing it. And it follows the Pareto rule, like 80/20 rule, which states the 80% of errors come from the 20% of program components. So starting the testing with the small parts and extend it to a large parts. What is the unit testing? So starting phase, the testing, we should have a requirement, applications ready, necessary resources available to maintain the accountability. We should assign a respective model to different test engineers, right? So here we can see types of the software testing. So the software testing mainly divided into two parts, which are follows as manual testing and automation testing. So manual testing and automation, what is the manual testing? Like testing any software or an application according to the client's needs without using any automation tool is manual testing. And in other words, we can say that it is a procedure of verification and validation. So manual testing is used to verify the behavior of an applications or software in contradiction of requirement specification. So this is the manual testing where we does it. And the unit testing comes to the unit testing part here, the unit testing part. So unit testing, what does it work? Unit testing means like it is a method of testing individual units or components of the software applications. It is basically done by the developers and used to ensure that the individual units of the software are working as intended. Unit tests are usually automated and are designed to test specific parts of the code. For example, particular functions or methods, unit testing is done at the lowest level of the software development process, where individual units of the codes are tested in isolation. So main advantages of unit testing is it helps to identify bugs early in the development process before they become more difficult and expensive to fix. And it helps to ensure that changes to the code do not introduce new bugs. It makes the code more modular and easier to understand and maintain. It helps to improve the quality, overall quality and reliability of the software. So these are the testings which I have described to you. The white box testing, black box testing, gray box testing. So and basically white box testing is based on the functional, non-functional testings, black box. Right? So unit testing, integration testing, system testings, other types of functional testings, right? Integration testing now comes to integration testing. Integration testing is a method of testing how different units or components of the software applications interact with each other. It is used to identify and resolve any issues that may arise when different units of the software are combined. Integration testing is typically done by the after unit testing and before functional testings. So it is used to verify that the different unit of the software work together as intended. So that is all about the integration testings. Now we comes to the in regression testing, right? So regression testing is a method of testing that used to ensure that changes made to the software do not introduce new bugs or cause existing functionality to break. It is typically done after changes have been made to the code, such as bug fix or new features, and they used to verify the software still works as intended. So the different ways to done regression testing, like retesting, re-executions, comparison, right? The main advantage of the regression testing is it helps to ensure the changes made to the software do not introduce new bugs or cause existing functionalities to break, right? So this is all about the regression testing. Now we comes to the automating testings, right? So automation, there are different kind of automation tools where we can test the softwares, test the codes, right? Now, classification of manual testing. In software testing, manual testing can be further classified into three different types of testing, like white box testing, black box testing, and gray box testing. So, as I shown you in the second slide in figure, right? If you have any doubts, so please put your query in chat box. Thank you.